Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to the channel, Pamela's Healing Journey, Trauma to Triumph. My name is Pam, and this channel is all about healing, growing, and strengthening after trauma. Today's video is special because we are going to be talking about expert insights on trauma recovery. Healing from trauma is complex, and professional guidance can make all the difference. So I'm sharing key advice from therapists on how to navigate your healing journey. So this is advice that I have been given from therapists in my own healing journey, and this is the advice that I also give clients. So if you're ready to learn practical therapy-backed strategies on how to overcome trauma, you're in the right place. Let's get started. So before we get into the healing process, let's define trauma once again. Trauma isn't just about the event itself, it's about how it affects your nervous system, your emotions, and your sense of self. It can result from physical, emotion, or psychological distress, and it often lingers long after the event is over. Therapists emphasize that trauma healing is not about getting over it, but about integrating the experience in a way that allows you to move forward. To me, I refer to this and reference this as rewriting my past in a way that supports my future. So the first step to healing is establishing and creating a sense of safety. Trauma keeps our nervous system on high alert. It keeps us in that constant fight, flight, freeze response. We are constantly in survival mode. I know that I lived most of my life, like the first 30 years of my life, I believe I lived in survival mode. When we're in survival mode and we're in that high state, that high alert system, it makes it hard for us to be able to relax and it's almost impossible to process emotions. So here's what therapists recommend to help you establish a sense of safety. Grounding techniques, like the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding technique I did in an earlier video. Establishing healthy routines that help stabilize emotions, so like yoga, journaling, walking in nature, whatever it is that helps bring you to a space of calm and safety. And finally, identifying safe people and places for emotional support. So knowing where to turn and who to turn to when you're feeling like you need support. Feeling safe is the foundation of trauma recovery. Unfortunately, we can't make peace with our past or our trauma unless we process through it. So many therapists emphasize that trauma needs to be processed and not avoided. But this process should happen at a pace that feels safe for you. Remember, you are in the driver's seat. You are in control of your therapy journey, no one else. So here are a few ways that is suggested to process trauma. Therapy. There's lots of different therapies out there, but just to name a couple, there's EMDR, there's CBT, somatic therapy, just to name a few. Guided meditation to explore your emotions, expressing emotions through creative outlets like art, music, movement. If facing trauma feels overwhelming, that is normal. Take it one step at a time. Don't rush the process. And remember, you are in control. Next, you want to challenge negative beliefs. So trauma often leaves us with deep-seated negative beliefs. I'm not enough, I'm broken, it was all my fault. So therapists encourage challenging these beliefs by practicing self-compassion. So treat yourself with kindness. For me, what worked best was to treat myself the way I would treat my best friend. Using positive affirmations to reframe thoughts and identifying where these beliefs come from. Most of them were learned. They were given to you from someone else. I know that I had tapes that played in my head for years and years and years. They were not my voice. They were my mother's voice. They were the teachers at school's voice. They were society's voice telling me that I needed to behave and act in a certain way. They were not mine. So healing is about reclaiming your self-worth and rewriting the story of trauma left behind. Building healthy connections is so crucial to your recovery journey. Trauma makes us feel isolated, but healing only happens when we feel connected. So here's a few suggestions of ways that you can connect. Find a support system, whether it's family, friends, or an online community. Join trauma-informed therapy groups. Peer support groups of other people that are experiencing trauma was so beneficial for me and for a lot of my clients. So I highly recommend that. Connecting with other people that understand and get it is so crucial. It's been so life-changing for me. And practicing vulnerability in safe relationships. You don't have to do this alone. Seeking support is a strength, not a weakness. It takes courage to say, I need some help. And finally, trauma takes time to heal. Trauma is not a straight line. It's full of ups and downs, twists and turns. So therapists remind us that healing takes time. This is about progress, not perfection. You're not going to enter into one race and run it and be done. That's just not how trauma works. And now that I can look back and reflect on my own journey, thank God it doesn't work that way, because if I had to have processed it all at the same time, I don't know if I could have done it. I really don't. Okay, triggers may still happen, but you will learn how to manage them better and easier. You'll be able to recognize them when they happen, and you'll be able to pull out your tools of what to do when you're feeling triggered. So triggers will still happen, but they'll get less, and they'll become easier to deal with. And finally, self-care and boundaries is a lifelong practice, right? We continually have to be working on setting boundaries to make sure that we are amongst healthy people and situations in our life. And we also need to continue to be taking care of ourselves daily. Every step you take, whether it's big or small, is a step forward on your healing journey, and you should celebrate that. Know too that you will also occasionally take a few steps back. That's part of the process. Okay? You're still moving forward even though you've taken a few steps back. Sometimes we have to take a few steps back to reevaluate or say, this kind of worked, but I need to tweak this a little bit and add this in or take this out in order for it to work better for me. It's okay. It's part of the journey. As long as you keep moving forward and pushing forward in your journey, you will continue to heal. If you remember nothing else that I say in this video, I need you to remember that healing is possible and you deserve to be healed. You deserve to feel whole. You deserve to feel joy. You deserve to feel comfort. You deserve to know what it feels like to be relaxed. And you 100% deserve to know this peace that I have learned is available to you on the other side of your healing journey. And when I say that, I'm not done healing. I'm still healing. I will probably always be working on healing, right? But today I have this peace about me that I never knew was possible. And I make these videos every day because I want you to have that too, because you deserve it and you are worthy of it. So again, it's not about forgetting your past. It's about reclaiming your future. It's about rewriting the story of your trauma to benefit you in your future. All right, so as I get ready to sign off, I want to ask you which of these therapy insights resonated with you most. If you could let me know in the comments, I would appreciate that. If you found this helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with somebody that might need it. Your support helps this message reach other people that may need it. Lastly, again, you are worthy of healing. You are so worthy of healing. You are not alone. And I will see you in the next video. Have a very blessed day.